when you look at this place, I mean, the first thing that you need to know when you go into here is that nearby we have a lot of stuff going on. Here we have the Englishman and Chad. Go into the lips right there, and you're going to see something crazy. Now, I'm not getting into this today, but this is definitely a working of the land. Somebody was doing it over here in Niger. We've got these circular dikes all over. This big structure here. I call it the Homer Simpson, the upside down Homer Simpson. Over here, we've got some circular dikes, and below it, we've got some crescents. Crescents, and I say constructing these dikes. Should be full screen, F11. I think I already have that. Okay, well, let's try F11 real quick. Thank you for your comment. F11. This keyboard, I have to do it with an alt, using alt. There's F6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's F11. If I hit it right there, it's not going to change anything. That's it. That's as big as it's going to get. Thank you, though, Apple's Pine. And yeah, that's the crescent under construction circular dike in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I'm trying to renew this and see if I have more people. Thanks for that third thumbs up. And there's a couple of other ones down here as well. This little chunk right here, just, you know, very strangely shaped for natural geometry. Or, I'm sorry, for natural geology. Very strange. Thank you, IQ UEL. I'm just here in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and the reason why is because I want to show you the Tassili Niger minefield. I call it a minefield. It's right here. It's like 200 kilometers. Let's measure it real quick, just to make sure. Going from down here and going to about here, and that's a lot of feet, but how many miles is that? Let's double check it. Over 241 miles. So if I get like weird and want to move that up to this end, it's 300. I can't seem to move anything. Done. Can I move it now? Yes. Now it's 342 miles. So Tassili Niger is very big. Now, if you're not familiar, right over here is actually not Algeria. It's Libya. And you can see in the middle of this big old structure, something's going on out here. Like literally some type of activity. This is Libya. It's right next to the Tassili Niger. Something you can't ignore, right? There's a place called Planetary Valley right in the middle of it all. And there's a lot of small orbs there. So we've got big orbs. We've got small orbs right there. But I'm not looking here now. I'm going over here back to Algeria. And the first place that I want to look at is right here. Right over here. But for some reason, it's not showing up the way I want to see it. There we go. Take a look at that. Welcome to Algeria. Thank you. If you can invite me, I will come visit you. I just want to visit this Tassili Niger. But you say welcome to Algeria. However, are you willing to accept that this whole so-called national park was ancient mining? And I can't pronounce your name. I don't know how to say that. I'm looking at your name, and it's a lot of Arabic right here. Thank you for saying welcome to Algeria. But honestly, when we look at Algeria, and we're looking right here at this place in the middle of the Tassili Niger, you can't tell me this is a natural thing. We've got quadrants. We've got projects. These projects are very old. And these are probably what I think are mining or quarrying projects. You've got a lot of I say squares. They're not perfect square, but they're squares that separate these areas, and each area is totally cleaned out. This one is totally cleaned out. You can see a little bit left over here. Even that, you can't say that's natural. But when we see these lines, these big ones that are separating the areas, we have to admit it. There's probably something going on here. Now, this whole Tassili Niger area, it's just crazy. I mean, it just goes on and on. And here's something we see similar to that of Utah, the canyon lands. It just goes on and on. IOUEL. I don't know how to pronounce that. IOUL. You say the mountains north of the Richat are covered in cities with industry and residential. Well, I think I know what you're talking about. We can go over there and take a quick look. But I have to say, to me, I think it's in quarrying right here. When you zoom into the Richat structure, go north. There's nothing here. You were there. I was here. I wasn't everywhere. I was here. I was not here. I was close, but I didn't make it. There's so many places you just can't make it without committing, like, not just farther north. Okay, so farther north of that is up here. I don't know about up here. I can tell you what's going on over here. There's some stuff going on. Okay, good. I'll go back. I'm reading your comments. You say I was right there. When we zoom in here, what I want to go to the most, and the place that we're talking about is right here. But look at that white spot, that bright white spot. When you zoom in here, you get to a shoreline. North of the shoreline, you have what I call the Giant's Quarry. Sorry, I can't stay where you wanted me to stay. That's the Giant's Quarry. It's one spot out of a bunch of places that have the same stone, but this was a nice one. Now, going back to, I think you were talking about here. This whole area, I mean, it's very large. Let's measure all the way out here to here. You've got 3.68 miles. But the other direction is 6 miles. There's 6 miles of this stuff. And it's all straight and quarried. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but this is one of the places. I mean, if you look at those lines, you don't find yourself in a natural environment, do you? Thank you, JJMS. No way that is natural. Yoel. I don't know how to pronounce it still. I'm trying to try. Is this the area you're talking about? I don't think about cities, but when you look at this right here, you see the same thing I just showed you over there in Algeria. There is a unit. Okay, I'm going to show some of these chats. There is a unit in the city of Tindor in Algeria. A unit? I don't understand what a unit is, but I do think I kind of understand what you're talking about in Tindor. I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to look at that one. Tindour. No? Tinduf. Okay, I guess I didn't see the last letter correctly. Here we are in Tinduf, Algeria. Let's see where that lies. Okay, actually, I have to be honest. Is that Algeria? Okay, that's Algeria. I thought most of that was Morocco, and then part of it was, I guess Morocco. This Western Sahara comes straight down here. So Tinduf, I don't know much about this. There's a unit in the city of Tinduf. This is a big area, so I don't know where to start. Which dude? Me? I'm the only guy here talking, so when you say that dude, I think you might be talking about me. I looked closely at this area. I haven't seen a lot. There's a lot of sand dunes coming right through here. Those are, in my opinion, clearly sand dunes, right? But one thing about these sand dunes, and when you get down here, right down here, you get to some other structures. I mean, look at these arcs. 1, 2, 3. There's a big one, 4. And there's this little thing here, 5. A link? You gave me a link. Bye. No, you can't leave me now. Thank you, though. I'll look out for your link. Thank you. We'll check Tindouf later. I'll take a look for that. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. This is still Mauritania right there. And when you zoom into it, got a little lost. Hold on. What happened? Right here. You can zoom in. You can find these quarries right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the different carvings. I know it doesn't look very clear right now. There's no ethnicity. What ethnicity do you think the people of Atlantis were? It has to be Soninke, right? Because it's close to Dar Tichit. Okay, all these tribes are after Atlantis. So when you say that, Dar Tichit, I love that area. I have to check Dowsey, Epic of Ouagadougou and Faro. Seems like you have some information I don't have. But what I'd like to do is to understand better what you're talking about. Now, Dar Tichit, I know, is down here. Has a curve just like that, but it's not here. It's down there. Oh, my God, I'm having a little lag. By the way, we're trying out the StreamYard for the second time, and we're hoping it's going to work out. Dar Tichit is right here. There's lots of stuff out here. I've taken a look at it before. There's a shoreline here and what I believe is an ancient sea right there, some type of water. You mentioned Ouagadougou and Faro. That doesn't ring a bell right now. I'm not sure where that is, but I have looked carefully at this whole area. We've got all sorts of cut-throughs and canals going through here. I can show you that later, or take a look at the last video. Just gonna do a quick check of my chats. I think I'm having some problem. Okay, everything's looking good. I don't see that so-called link though. The link might be I don't know. It should have been right here. That dude is a salesman. All right. Anyways, getting back to Algeria, getting back out here, there's a lot to look at. And it looks like some type of a weird pastel painting when you are out 3,600 feet or 272 miles above it all. But one of the things that I always see is this crevice, this river. And when you zoom in real close, you start to see the lines, the quarrying lines. I'm going to turn it like this and take a look at this corner here, right there. And then go back over to this corner here, right there, and then do some measurements from there. It's exactly the same. Actually, this one right here. So we got this point out to there and this point out to there. Measure it yourself. These are not natural things. And when you get out to some certain areas, and the one that I was looking at is out here. And I started over here. And then the thing that I was looking at right here, it just doesn't seem like it has any chance it could be natural. The lines are like these project lines and not coordinated with any north-south. Let's go north and south right there. There's north. Okay. And let's get rid of that. And then we go back and we see, look at this one right here. Look at that rectangle. That rectangle right there, totally different than the other rectangles, the other squares, the other quadrants. When you zoom out a little bit and move up here, you start to see a lot of crazy, crazy stuff. And the lines don't stop. Yeah, there's I think you can easily find, Daniel. Let me just show the chat. You can easily find the photos of these so-called unnatural quarry lines from the ground. I've got a few of them that I've uploaded already, but the thing is that when you're on the ground, you totally don't see it. You see chaos. Chris Spencer, the Tassili concerns itself with the rise and fall of Wagadu's 4 great cities, owing to the greatness and shortcomings of man. It is similar to the tale of Atlantis. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll try to get that and check it out. Zooming in here, we got so many projects, so much activity, and so many mounds too, by the way, like this one, just left there by itself. What purpose? Maybe it's a little higher. Maybe they used it to get a shot, a mound shot, ancient alignments. Look at these down here. I mean, it looks like it was ground down, but it's a totally different material. So we have a lot of stuff going on here in the Tassili Niger. And then look up here, how big that stuff is compared. So over here, you basically see it's all ground down flat. It's not very bumpy. And then over here, we've got these huge ones. And when you zoom out, you can see perpendicular lines like this one right here and that one right there. And then these lines. And you kind of wonder what the heck was going on. Like, is it some type of a project demarcation, or was something else going on? So I do look at the rest of the Sahara Desert when I'm out there. And yeah, this is a big area, the whole area. The first stuff I was ever looking at is down here. And I don't think we're going to find it. Oh, look, there it is. Easy to find. And what do you see? You see these lines going in parallel directions. Thank you, I am Kairos. That means a lot to me. And I did just watch your video just a few moments ago about Napa, and I was just inspired to start a live stream. You see these lines going across, and they're like, what the heck created these ridges? And I say ridge, it's not really a ridge, but it's a line, right? And they're parallel to one another. There's the ones that are going in this direction, and then there's the 45-degree relief cut. I usually call that a cut, but those are ridges. Down here, what's going on down here? I mean, this is just insanity. And you're telling me it's natural? And yeah, it looks a lot like Utah. If I start another window and I get out of there and I go to Utah, you see very similar stuff going on. Now, how do I get to Utah? Well, I go to the Big Salt Lake. That's Utah, right? But we don't want to be there. We want to be over there by Moab. Moab is here. And down by the, what do you call it, where the two rivers combine. Right here, where Colorado River goes straight past and the Green River enters, congruence, I don't remember the word. I don't care about words. I care about what the F was going on here. And I do think it was some type of an ancient mining project in Utah. So it's not just about that one spot in the world. It's about all over the world. Take a look at that, and take a look at some of the straight lines I found. Back to the Sahara Desert. These are all gray. There's not a lot of water going in this neighborhood. This is the Sahara Desert. All right. Not going to spend too much time. Now's the time to ask your questions in the live chat. When you see stuff like this, it looks like is it natural, or is it extreme working of the land? And then you see these circles here, and the circles have lines going through them. What could have been mined here? Well, I think a lot of stuff. Gold. I mean, you can find gold everywhere, and sand everywhere. Thank you for the question, 8 Apples Pine. When you see stuff like this, and especially up against a river, I did I do have a page called Was This Atlantis on Facebook, and I use it to document stuff. Like, for example, all these straight lines going across. You can go there yourself. Was this Atlantis? And the next one looks very similar to those that were found in Utah. But this is the same mining. When I see this up against everything else, I have no problem believing that this was some type of intelligent activity. Do I say humans? No, I don't. Somebody did this. Here's a good example, and you can go over here to the earth.google and open it up yourself and go there. Over here, there's a river that shows some ridges. Over here, there's more of this matrix mining going on. And let's go over here first and see some of this stuff. You got lines going in all directions, mounds, ridges. Look at that ridge. That's a ridge. That's not a river. That's not a canal. There's all sorts of ridges that have been placed here. Well, I believe if you go here, you're going to find some gold. But that's just my personal opinion. I have no evidence. Getting over here, there's a river here, right? And yeah, there was somebody working the plateaus above the river, probably scraping it down into the river, doing placer mining. If I'm wrong about that, I don't know. But you can see these big old thick chunks going straight across. Over here, you see one going that way, but it got cut through. All these lines, they were damming up. There's one here. And going back up here, you can see them really clear. This is a ridge. It's actually on top of everything else. So later project. This mining that was done here, probably older than this ridge right here. Whoever figured out how to put a ridge there was doing it for a purpose. It looks like they were trying to block off the water, damming. But I don't know, because it's not perfectly aligned. Some type of damming was going on here. You got a ridge up here. So go to that picture on my Facebook page. I got other stuff. This is like a mound in the middle of nowhere. This mound is just sitting there. All right. What's going on? Okay, it's taking its time. Now, when we zoom into this one, you can see that mound sitting there by itself. Over here, you've got a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. And when I went to the landscape arch in the Arches National Park, that landscape arch was part of one of these ridges, a long, thick ridge, just like this. That's how it looks in Utah. But when we zoom over here, we see a sole mound, and it's definitely a different color than what's below it. Somebody put that there. And the question I have is, what reason? Well, you see around it, you see some activity. Over here, you see a circle. Something's going on over here, maybe a circle there. And over here, for sure, you got a couple of mounds. I think those are modern-day burial mounds. However, this whole big mound is 150 feet wide. Is that also a burial mound of some person or being that used to work here in these minefields? All by itself, there it sits. Was something buried there? Was the material put there for later use? Is that a mound or is it a burial mound? And it's 150 feet wide. So that would make, if there's a person in there, at least a third of that, 50 feet lying in there. Is that a person in there? I don't know. And over here we have something really weird. That's a weird looking one right there. And that scrape right there, I think that's also a burial, what's called the word that they use is a tumuli. Tumulus is the singular and tumuli is the plural. Are we looking at tumuli? That one right there is a weird one. I don't even want to think about that. Go to the Facebook page. That's where I have everything, including this structure and also alignments. That's about it. Guys, I'm just doing a test. Thank you for coming. And yeah, I want to have outgoing music. Where is my outgoing music? I have things requesting your subscription. Please subscribe. Please give me some thumbs up and some likes and some shares. What's that down there? What's that? Subscribe, share, and of course, if you want, I'm going to probably go back to the Richat Structure in January. Talk to me about that if you're interested. All right? If you're interested in going to the Richat Structure in January, I've been there 3 times already. Actually, technically more than 3, but I'm finding a lot of stuff. This is one thing that I went to. I stopped and I went in there. There's just some jugs of water. Somebody's sleeping there at night. What they're doing, I have no idea. Why they built this, I have no idea. The Richat Structure is right behind there. You can't really see it because we're on the ground, but the Richat Structure is right behind there. We're actually inside the basin, the 45-kilometer wide basin. All right, guys, looking for other stuff, but I can't find it. Y'all have a good one.